In the late 1960s, Northern California became the haunting backdrop for a series of heinous crimes that have puzzled investigators and fascinated the public. A killer who created a mystery that has confounded the world for decades. Join us on this spine-tingling journey through cryptic messages, harrowing crimes, and an elusive predator whose identity continues to elude justice. Welcome to our channel. Today, we recap the story of one of America's most notorious serial killers, the Zodiac Killer. It all began in December 1968 when the lives of young high school students were tragically cut short near Vallejo, California. This marked the ominous start of a string of murders that would rock the region to its core. In Vallejo, California, a serene town nestled among Northern California's picturesque landscapes. Yet in December 1968, this tranquil setting was shattered by an unfathomable tragedy. On a fateful night, Betty Lou, Jensen and David Faraday set out on what was meant to be a carefree evening. Little did they know, their lives would be brutally interrupted. Their plans for an innocent night took a sinister turn as their bodies were discovered. Victims of a senseless and vicious attack, the shockwaves of this gruesome incident reverberated through California and beyond. The local newspapers screamed headlines of the heinous crime, and the fear descended upon the once tranquil community. Parents held their children closer, and the safety of the town was entirely shattered. Law enforcement agencies mobilized, launching a tireless investigation to apprehend the predator behind this senseless act of violence. However, little did they realize, this was just the beginning. The tragic deaths of these high school students was only an opening act to the series of murders that would unfold over the coming years. The sinister presence of the Zodiac Killer had made its debut, casting a long and chilling shadow over the region, leaving a community gripped by fear and uncertainty. And thus, the dark legacy of the Zodiac Killer began. What made the Zodiac case so unnerving wasn't just the violence, but the twisted mind games. Taunting letters filled with cryptic ciphers arrived at local newspapers, each one a chilling testament to the killer's desire for attention and notoriety. The horror was amplified by the missives that arrived at the desks of local newspapers, each letter containing perplexing puzzle, carrying the mark of the killer's twisted mind. The Zodiac didn't just seek victims, he sought an audience. His letters were adorned with enigmatic symbols and intricate ciphers, a diabolical showcase of his intelligence. Newsrooms became unwitting recipients for his sinister communiques. Those letters sent shivers down the spines of journalists and law enforcement alike, revealing details only the killer could possess. Encoded messages challenged the authorities, daring them to decipher his twisted riddles. The chilling ultimatums within these letters struck fear into the hearts of those who read them. The Zodiac's message was clear: publish my letters or I will continue my deadly spree. It was a calculated game, a macabre theater where the killer orchestrated fear and chaos. Despite the efforts of cryptographers and experts, some of the Zodiac's ciphers remained unsolved for years, leaving investigators and codebreakers in an agonizing frustration. These letters, these puzzles, were more than twisted mind games. They were windows into the depths of a disturbed psyche, a reminder of the killer's desire for infamy and power. Cryptic messages of the Zodiac Killer continued to haunt, leaving a chilling legacy of a killer who revealed not only in violence, but in the psychological torment inflicted upon an entire region. Law enforcement agencies launched extensive investigations, chasing leads and suspects, including a particularly intriguing individual, Arthur Lee Allen. Yet, the true identity of the Zodiac Killer remained shrouded in mystery. Following the heinous crimes, investigators were thrust into an exhaustive and relentless pursuit of the elusive killer. Their task was to track down a faceless phantom haunting Northern California. Crime scenes were meticulously scrutinized, every shred of evidence scrutinized for a trace, a clue that could unravel the mystery. Yet the killer's trail was unyielding, like chasing a shadow in the dark. Among the many suspects that emerged, Arthur Lee Allen was one whose name stood out. He became a focal point of investigations. But even as suspicions swirled, hard evidence linking him to the crimes remained absent. Witnesses were interviewed, alibis were checked, and all were for nothing, resulted in nothing. The Zodiac's identity remained impenetrable enigma. The killer seemed to operate with calculated precision. Forensic experts meticulously combed through evidence, fingerprints, letters, clothing fibers, a painstaking process that yielded fragments of information but fell short of unmasking the elusive culprit. Meanwhile, fear pervaded the community. People were on edge, cautious of their surroundings, unsure if their next encounter would be with a relentless serial killer who struck without warning. And as time passed, the Zodiac Killer case transitioned into an unsolved mystery. Cold case units tirelessly revisited the evidence, hoping for a breakthrough that never came. The hunt for the Zodiac Killer stands as a testament to the dedication of law enforcement. But despite their efforts, the true identity of this enigmatic and calculating murderer remains a mystery. Now, the killer's targets were often young couples seeking seclusion. The killer's choice of victim was both tragic and calculated, a sinister pattern that unfolded in remote areas, meant for solitude and romance. Remote areas turned into haunting crime scenes. Young couples seeking solace and intimacy unwittingly fell into the killer's deadly trap. These locations that promised peace and quiet became stages for unspeakable events. The Zodiac's choice of young unsuspecting couples instilled perpetual fear, a chilling realization that even moments of quiet intimacy could transform into a nightmare. The crimes of the Zodiac always carried his signature, a calculated act coupled with a cryptic message sent to a newspaper after each murder. Despite the passage of time and numerous theories, the Zodiac Killer's identity remains an enigma, unsolved puzzle that continues to captivate both amateur and seasoned investigators. For many years, dedicated investigators driven by an unrelenting pursuit of justice have poured countless of hours into analyzing clues, revisiting crime scenes, re-examining evidence, talking to suspects, in their relentless yet fruitless quest to unmask this killer. The case has spawned many theories. Everyone had a theory or a suspect, adding layers to the intricate web of speculation surrounding this case. The cryptic messages, while intriguing, have proven to be both a blessing and a curse. While they offered a glimpse into the mind of the killer, they also added an element of complexity, leaving experts and codebreakers stumped. The public remains captivated by the killer's chilling legacy. Documentaries, books, and online forums continue to dissect the case, keeping the flames of curiosity burning bright across generations. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of one of America's most perplexing criminal cases. If you are as fascinated by true crime mysteries as we are, don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. Until the next one.